It fell weird.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lord, we ask your hand upon us as we bring these decisions. Give us wisdom, guidance, and mercy. Lord, we ask this in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Just a couple of reminders. We are still doing this new format, so please be patient as we working to streamline and be more effective. And I feel like respectful of everybody's time and everybody's input. We will have a public comment section or public comment time. If you want, we're going to call up here,
Kevin Cuddy,
here,
Michael Hendricks,
here,
Robert Peeler,
here.
Jody Belcher.
Here.
Thank you.
So we have a proclamation. Okay.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Amy Hale, and we don't actually have a proclamation that we're going to need to review and sign because we just had, my name's Amy Hale. I volunteer with the Chamber of Commerce. And the proclamation was supposed to be for the lighted Christmas parade that's happening in December. Originally, we had a lot of rules, regulations we had to jump through with TxDOT for signage and message boards, but that has recently changed. Thanks, Friday. We will be able to go on the highway. We just got an email on Saturday,
Oh, okay.
I think, from the new district engineer about these changes. So we're very thankful for their work with us because originally it was going to cost about $15,000 for us to do a 1 hour parade, which is not good use of tax dollar money. So that's just the update. We'll have specifics on the route soon to the public. We'll be meeting, we've already sent information to TxDOT. They've confirmed receipt of the route information. They're going to send an official email with confirmation that it's approved, and then we'll be good to go. So proclamation's there, but we don't need to read it or sign it. Anybody have any questions?
Amy, when is the parade again?
It is Saturday, December the 13th at 6 p.m. Christmas in the Park is the exact same day, but it's going to start at 5 p.m. an hour before. And the parade starts at 6 because it's a lighted parade, and we want it to be dark so that you can get the full effect of the lights on the floats. And if you haven't signed up and would like to have a float, please do so. It is free for anybody to have a float. You can reach out to the chamber. You can contact me if you'd like to, and I can send you the form online. Perfect. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Amy.
At this time, if you've signed up for public comment
Presentations.
or presentation. Yes, presentation. I do believe Mr. Jake Torres has come to speak to us.
Good afternoon, or good evening. Jake Torres. I know just about all of you, but I'm not real sure about this guy.
We're not.
I just wanted to tell you kind of what we're doing. I've been in the food business quite a while. I've had Great American Cookie, I've had Rayo's, chain of Hallmark shops, so I'm kind of familiar with a little bit of retail. I don't own but one piece of property here in Sour Lake, and my son and I purchased the Dairy Queen. And so I've had thousands of people ask me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, hell, I got to get it fixed first. And so what we have done so far to bring you up to date is we put a new roof on it. We spent over $100,000 after we purchased it. Roof, air conditioning, but we have gutted the inside. We're going to change that look of Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is not interested in this market for whatever reason. I can tell you what their problem was because I know what their sales were and I know who their franchisees were. And so the market was pretty good market for them, but when you got a new franchisee that hadn't, I don't think he's owned it for about 5 years or so, it ain't good. So his sales probably fell in half. So when I saw it go vacant, I told my son, Jake, if you see somebody walk up to those doors, we worked a deal with them. It had problems. We've addressed those. We knew that going in, which adjusted our purchase price. So our plan is right now, first thing people want to know, are you going to go in competition? Look, it's a food place. I don't want to go in competition with anybody in this market. Okay? The reason why I'm here is to tell you, this is a small but large community. It's small enough that I can talk to people, but it's large enough where their word is way more powerful than to say, hey, a half-painted hawk, as they say, lipstick on a pig. I ain't giving it to you, it's not complete. And once I get it complete, then I would invite you to pop in, take a look at it, and you can tell. We're going to make it, my intention, and my son, is try to do things that are, I would consider better first class. Let's just try to, I'll be real easy with you, just say, hey, we're trying to do it first class. And we've done it so far. The money gun, we've shot to it to make maybe someone that has a franchise. I've talked to Whataburger, no. They're hard to deal with. I've talked to the Dairy Queen people, said no. I tried to do a small location. We don't do those in Texas. I get it. They do them in Louisiana and other places, but not in Texas. And there's no reason, I'm not going to give you the reason why. It's senseless. But our intention naturally is to lease it and be profitable and have a return for me so that I can pay my note and then we can make a little money off the thing. Why did I do it? I'll take anything you got on Highway 105. You have a bird nest on the ground. When I saw that pop up, I said, I want that. I said, if nothing else, I want the real estate. And I'm sure Ryan will agree with me. I know he's a retailer. I'm not sure what the rest of you do. But anyway, we feel real positive about it. I feel real positive about Sour Lake. Only be here 45 years. So I just feel like that was something I needed to do. But I want to bring something that you're happy with. I want to know and I'll make sure all of y'all get my cards. I want you to let me know that you have a prospect. I'm reaching out. I'm trying to find someone that has been in the restaurant business, more than one location, with some experience, because it's prime real estate and drive-through. I've got all the equipment. I purchased every bit of it when I made the deal. I had to go through the county to get it, but Sheriff Davis in the auction, we bought it all. So I have equipment. You want to go in the hamburger business?
No.
But I'm looking for a long-term tenant as well as you are, and because I want for you tax dollars, and I want for me a profitable investment. I've looked at food places, offices, could be an office. It could be converted pretty easy. I don't know how your bar ordinance is in the city, bar/food. I don't know if that's something that you want or need, but I'm kind of open to what you think your needs are, because I can go hustle people that I know that might be in that particular business. You want someone with chicken, you want someone with Mexican food, but I don't want to compete with G Taco or some of your other businesses. Now, I don't mind going head up against a franchise that maybe the owners don't live here. And maybe that's not nice to say, but that's kind of how I look at it. We're not putting a hardware store in. So, what's
I
that?
said it would fail.
Kind of what I want to do with it, and what we're doing with it. I think it's a great location. Everything's going to work when we finish. And so I just wanted to let you folks know, because there's a lot of people asking, and if I tell y'all, then it's out. And there's nothing to hide. I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't know if this is a point where if you wanted to ask me something, I'm more than willing to give you an answer. Anybody?
Well, I know you broke the mayor's heart when you said no water harbor, so.
Yeah. It's not my fault. They're tough. They're a tough franchise. And, I know we could, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and approach the local franchisees. I was dealing with a Whataburger, Texas. And what I'm gonna do is now go approach, them and see if they have any interest in it.
To me, you have the right mindset, attitude about it. If you were able to make the public hearing for the 105 expansion, their TxDOT's projections is that by the next, 20 years, there's going to be a 70% increase in traffic through this city.
No doubt.
So, yeah, I mean,
No
it
doubt.
is, like you said.
I was there, no doubt.
So, a franchisee, drive-through situation. So, yeah.
No, well, I need for y'all to spread the word and to shoot people my way. I'm not ready to release it to them right now, but I am searching out who I want to approach and see if there's, can I sit on it? Yeah, I can sit on it. That's not a problem for me. We can sit until we get the right tenant. And that's kind of how my son and I look at it. Says, look, we'll sit until we get the right tenant. The rent is, is going to be comparable if you were going into a rental, a facility like that. I'm very familiar with all the rents. So if there's nothing else, I just say, hey, shoot them my way. I'll get cards for y'all, and they can contact me personally, and I'll work a deal. But I want to work a deal with someone that we know that it's a need for the city. I don't think you need another Sonic. I do have a hamburger group that's interested in it. I'll tell you who it is. It's Novroski's. I don't know that they can make it. That's why I've kind of held off. But they have interest in it. But I'm trying to make the product mix good for the city as well as for myself. So anyway, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thanks, Jay.
You bet.
Thanks, Jay.
You will.
Little Jake.
It's right when we started talking.
This is my son.
All right, so in the presentations, I see budgeting moving forward.
Yeah, so mine won't be near as interesting as that.
Didn't bring cookies either.
Didn't bring cookies, but I did bring you a little presentation printout of just, this can be as short as y'all would like or as long-winded as y'all would like, but really just 3 different updates with 3 fiscal years. So FY 2025, basically the update is a single sentence that amendments will be brought to you for consideration next month. So that we can wrap up FY 25. I will let all of you know Councilman Cudd reached out with a very specific question of how we're looking, how we're going to end up. So if you look at one of the handouts I put on your desk, I provided both the general budget, which is the 11 by 14 sheet, or 8.5 by 14, the legal size sheet. That's our, if you want the details that shows the general budget. The short answer there is we're going to be about, this is a loose projection, 281,000 over budget for the general budget. And then water and sewer will be 35,000 over budget, roughly. That's with where we are through October 31st, and then projected numbers for November and December. Yes.
So your balance, that's just through October, is that things that are in the red or in the red? Like, I'm looking at the revenue portion of this budget. So current tax year collection.
For the general budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just status through October, like it says here, yeah.
Yeah, so that first column is through October 2025 actual. Then you've got correct.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So you are welcome to comb through those, especially as we gear up for next month and amend FY 2025. The update for FY 26 is a couple things. One, I've provided you a completely amended budget proposal for you guys to look at, excluding sleds. That's both general and water and sewer. So y'all are welcome to go through that with a fine tooth comb. I don't expect you to do that now. The thought was that we adopt sled. If you recall, in the September meeting, you guys adopted the general budget and the water and sewer budget, but did not adopt the sled budget. We took that to them at their last sled meeting. They greenlit it, and so it's ready to come before y'all in December. So the thought would be to turn around and, after sufficient time for you guys to review this document that I've handed you tonight, we can amend the FY 26 water and sewer and general budget in January. So that's the update there. So general and water sewer amended in January, sled adopted in December, and then that January is really up for you guys to decide. You know, whatever the will of this council is completely fine with me. I'm ready to walk through it tonight if y'all wanted to, or we can come as early as December if you feel like that's enough time for you guys to review it. Either way is fine with me. Thing in this presentation is a look at our fund balance. I want to bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, with the TxDOT project underway, and as we all know and heard at the public hearing last Thursday, they are moving forward. They are, all systems go on that. And so I know that there's been discussion historically about what we can use those funds towards. Quick details provided at the bottom of that sheet. If you look, the FY 26 proposed budget that I'm showing is 1.8, just over 1.8. TML recommends 25 to 30% of annual expenditures to be in reserves. That's one of the questions you were asking. So that's the TML recommendation. Local consideration with our hurricane-prone region, after talking with some folks about that, we feel pretty good at 50% as a very safe number of reserves to have annual expenditures. Currently, we sit at 142%. So we're very healthy in that area. But again, the question to you guys and to really be considering as we consider adopting this budget is, do we want to continue to wait for the TxDOT project and have sufficient funds to utilize for that? Or are there some other passion projects? I know we've talked about drainage. Streets are a major issue and priority for you guys. So that's y'all's decision to make. I'm fine either way, but just wanted to make sure y'all had a clear understanding of what the fund balance, at least in the general, looks like. Then last update I want to make sure you guys are aware of. It's crazy to think that we're already talking about FY 27, but the budget cycle for FY 27 is going to start really January 1 for us. Planning starts through April for our staff. We're going to be talking about some of our priorities, some of our things we want to see in the FY 27 budget, and get all those things down. I'll be working with Chief on his budget and making sure we're all working towards the same goal. May is when a new council will be sitting before us here. And so after that May meeting, we'll go into 2 workshops where The first one is where I'm really going to spend time challenging you guys to think about projects, some of the bigger picture projects, drainage, streets, water and sewer, some big ticket items that we really want to prioritize as a council. And then the second workshop will be where we articulate those priorities. So first workshop will be challenging you and making sure you're aware of all of them. And then the second one will be where y'all communicate back to me what you actually want to see in the fine print. Third, July and August, this is pretty standard here. Council meetings will see the first draft of this. I'll actually present you a first draft of what the budget is going to be looking like after your workshops are complete. And then lastly, September will remain the month for public hearings and formal adoption, which lends Q4 basically to filing that and making sure everything is set to go for a January 1 FY27 adoption. Just threw a lot at you, but feel free to ask any questions.
The widening of 105, they said 2027, right?
Spring 2027.
2027. So where are they starting at? What's their starting point?
I don't know that answer. Do you know that answer?
I've heard different answers to that question.
Okay. When do we have to have our infrastructure moved?
That is a great question. I was not able to make it to that public hearing, public meeting that they had. So I was a little surprised to hear some of the conflicting information from what TxDOT's consultants had relayed to us several months ago. The tricky part is when we move the city's utilities out, right, where the current right-of-way line is now, the utilities will be outside of where they are today. Well, that puts them today on private property. So the plan was we have to wait until TxDOT completes their acquisition of new expanded right-of-way, so then we can then come in and push those utilities out. And that's I almost use the word game, but that was kind of the timing game we were playing all along, was timing that, because they had to complete their environmental, they then had to complete all their acquisition, and then allow the city's project to be procured for contractors, come in, do the work, and then TxDOT's work will then begin. So I do not know who their current new consultant is going to be. LTRAs, from what their own staff told me, got terminated. Their contract got terminated by TxDOT, and this was going to get pushed back to 2029. So seeing that it's actually 2027 is what they're issuing at the public meeting, I have some questions. And so Bo and I did talk about potentially going ahead and reaching out directly to TxDOT and see if we can't maybe get some up-to-date, accurate information. I think that's kind of where we're at. I don't want to, from where I sit, it's doing the engineering for the city. I don't want to see us get into any type of time bind on this. We need to be working with accurate information. So it's,
I think that the timeline we can adjust. Is the cost that I'm very concerned about.
sure.
Because I don't know, most citizens know that the city's on the hook for moving on that. Something that I've heard up the numbers of $2 million. Is that still?
The last time we had reviewed that, yes, sir, that was our conservative estimate.
So the engineers that were on site were with Jacobs. They had 20 to something Jacobs representatives there with the TxDOT employees answering stuff. So that was who had been, and that's who they kept referring us back to. When I was asking TxDOT people questions, they were referring you back to Jacobs employees. They had Jacobs name tags on them. So, which they still didn't have a lot of answers, but that's who TxDOT kept referring us back to.
And see, and that's odd because LTRA has been their consultants for the last 2 years.
Yes.
So we were having once a month meetings with those groups, status meetings for a good while.
Okay.
So
I was asking questions like the cross sections, like plans for that. They didn't have any of that data. They didn't have. I was asking for elevations in the detention ponds. They couldn't give me that. So they were just, there was a lot of things that no one knew. So
Yeah.
it was.
And we did. I walked away from that meeting. I know several of you guys were there. I walked away with a handful of contacts, great contacts, including the utilities contact person for TxDOT. So like Jeff said, we plan to sit down and get clear answers, but I don't think we have those yet.
We had specifically asked about the acquisition of the utility right of ways. They were given the same answer. They haven't done it. That really brings to question how they think that timeline is going to actually transpire, but unfortunately, surprised.
Already started, they already had acquired properties, like that they had already had them. And then another one was like, we haven't started the process yet, so.
Well, they have started the process. I do know several landowners that have actually completed the acquisition
Okay.
process with them, but it's not all. And I think that's where the problem is some landowners probably took whatever offer they were given initially,
Mhm.
received checks, their name got checked off the box. Other property owners did not and wanted to further negotiate. And then I think that conversation kind of just dissipated. Maybe they brought some other consultants into the mix. I'm really not sure, but that's where it starts getting real fuzzy.
Yeah,
and
they had like a
information
finance table and things like that, so it was interesting.
Additional question? I have one. Maybe it's ignorant. I don't know.
Just,
We, Sarah Lake obviously can't be the first small municipality that's had to go through something like this before. And right now, when you look at our bank account, we seem like we're in a pretty good position. We could probably stomach this if we had to take it on. It wouldn't be our first option for using this money, obviously, especially with talks about putting together a comprehensive plan together for the city. These dollars could be used for something else that we actually need to do. So two questions. The ignorant one, what if we just don't do it? Is that an option?
I guess technically, yes. Now, the city's utilities are in the TxDOT's right of way.
Mhm.
And so if they go to constructing new roads and say, y'all don't care about your utilities, just do what you want to with them, they get ripped out and now there's no water and sewer on the highway. I think that would probably be the short answer.
And TxDOT would do that.
Now, I have no idea. Now, I do know that this has happened to other small utility or small cities smaller than Sour Lake, and they were left holding the purse back, unfortunately. These are all questions we asked very early on into this, making the case that Sour Lake does not have the funds.
Yeah.
This is going to be a pretty big amount of money just to pay for things.
is this something we're gonna revisit with the,
How TxDOT funds things, and we find ourselves in this situation as engineers a lot with laying a water line down a road, especially a TxDOT road, right? It's always most easiest and timely and most cost efficient to be in TxDOT's right of way. This rarely happens, but when it does happen, situation that it falls back into. The only other option would be to lay a water line down private property, now acquiring easements and paying for said easements for each property owner going down a particular route down a highway. It is more timely, it is more costly to go that route, and that's one of the reasons why we very rarely do it. Now, there are certain situations, obviously, but the reason I bring that up is, we've also evaluated, well, do we want to now put this on the burden 50, 60 years down the road if TxDOT does come back and decide to widen 105 again at some point? Now, is it 50, 60 years? Is it 100 years? I mean, we have no way of answering that. But that was one of the things we evaluated early on is would we want to even push out further than where TxDOT's proposed new right-of-way is going to be and try to acquire easements in some of those places. Unfortunately, TxDOT's already taken quite a bit of property, and so some of the existing commercial buildings and structures, this right-of-way line is going to be close to their structure itself. And so getting another 20 foot or so, or maybe 30 foot, to have a water and sewer line in a private easement outside their right-of-way is going to probably not be well received, if there's even physically enough room. So I know I'm kind of rambling on that, but that kind of goes into some of the reasons of why we're even in this situation in the first place.
So my second question then, I have heard that this is going to continue all the way to Tarkington, more or less. Like they're going to come from Cleveland, and the widening of the highway is going to continue this way. Is that? Have you heard
I
that?
have not heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said yes.
It's supposed to go all the Conroe.
Okay, so that means that all this is going to go through Batson. It's going to go through Moss Hill, two towns that I think are probably smaller and not as financially stable as Sour Lake is at the moment. I'm just curious if it'd be worth our while, and this may not be a question for you, maybe we just need to call these people, but speaking with state representatives to get involved on Sour Lake's behalf. I mean, we're talking about a state level organization with TxDOT. And TxDOT has said flat out that they're not gonna help pay for any of this. Now, I know that, like, it's our responsibility, I guess, at the end of the day, because we put our utilities in there right away, but surely, and maybe I'm being ignorant, they can't just go around like bankrupting small towns just to widen highways all the time, so.
And I completely understand what you're saying. You know, TxDOT's answer to that is they do have some programs, which are basically loan programs to loan dollars, for the utilities. So I mean, I'd love to have a better answer for you, but we kind of hit that around quite a few times. We actually had quite a few phone calls directly with TxDOT very early on when we started going down this road, because Joey was in those meetings, made the same exact case, Mr. Provost, myself, and yeah, we didn't get it.
So those businesses will just go under and call it a day.
Yeah, sure.
Right then with their budgeting questions. This time we're gonna move to public comments.
What's this one?
Everybody sign it. Yes, sir. We're gonna move on to consent agenda items. Council reminder that any of the items underneath that consent agenda can be spoken about or questioned in any order and however we want to, sir.
I have a correction for the minutes.
Okay.
Which, I'm sorry, I think procedurally I've messed up. Correct me both, but don't I have to start with a motion on the consent? Open it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll make a motion that we open discussion on the consent agenda.
Can I get a second? Okay, I have a motion and a second.
Agenda, so page 3
Yes.
of the minutes. It should read that I abstained.
Oh,
There were,
okay, I didn't catch that. I can fix that. Okay, anything else?
it's- Oh, Jenny, do you have a timeline? It says here for the 12th. Was that a discussion with TextMyGov or?
oh, in my report?
Yeah.
Yes, we met with them, and it was, they check all the boxes, everything that we want as far as reaching citizens in a very efficient manner. Has a lot of pretty remarkable features that especially integrate with our website and allow citizens to be affordable. Annually, it's $3,500 with a $1,000 startup fee. So I went ahead and greenlit that. We have a call with them tomorrow where we're going to basically begin the 45-day process, and hopefully January 1, it'll be live for citizens to engage with. Councilman, appreciate that. So I think I answered a couple of them. You asked for a list of properties owned by the city. So one of the sheets in y'all's ridiculous stack of papers I gave y'all, is a list of all the properties owned. I tried to give clarity on some of them were a bit vague and not a actual address. So I tried to give as much clarity as I could. You mentioned cell phone reimbursement. That's something we will definitely look into. Currently, we reimburse for cell phones $50 for a handful of employees or, okay. And there was a, thought to raise that to 100 to more accurately cover a cell phone bill. So,
Well, I know that, I think that the app that you're using for orders, does that go to a person's cell phone or does that go to
yeah, it's just it's Google. So, a free account on Google on personal cell phones. Yeah.
so, you know, $50 doesn't do much, in my opinion.
So we can definitely amend the budget to account for that.
Is there a reason you wanted to see these properties, Kevin? Or you just want to?
Yeah, there is a reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't need any of the sewers, lanes and all that stuff. What I was trying to do is find, you know, we've been talking about, a new building for the police department. I just want to find out what properties we actually own.
What are these highlighted ones?
Admittedly, I could not figure out where those properties were. Almost ashamed to admit that, but I didn't have much time to dig in on that, but that was my best estimate.
Big to be continued.
The property IDs don't exist on Harding CAD. There's no address, so.
So we own property we didn't even know that about.
Well, yeah, and I gave my best cross intersection there. But you also asked about a graph for sales tax revenue from 21 to 25. That's provided, pretty obvious document there.
That, spike in 2022, was that from,
Debbie, you want to speak to that?
After COVID, we got that great old big lump sum that we all thought they were gonna take back from us. Yeah, they were already something, yes.
Then lastly, you asked how many events had been held at the community center in 2025, and that answer is 75 events.
wow.
Now, a lot of those, 24 of those to be specific, is Energy Transfer uses it twice a month for their
So
regular meetings.
250, that's
But,
more than what I thought.
That's it, one week and then on weekends. So.
And the reason I asked that question is because, we're looking to put money into the community center. So,
I think this Ryan Road Shady Lane is an easement that runs up through there.
yeah, I didn't have much time to dig on it.
Any more further discussion, you can discuss any of the items. Rapid fire.
I have a question. When we were talking about the budget, and, is there a way to, before, you know, like you wanted to discuss both the days in the book and all that, and is there a way maybe to do a sit down and do a workshop that we could do it tonight, but doing it another day?
Yeah, my questions or asterisks you might want to call out. And then when I do present it for y'all's adoption or amendments, I plan to go through every single change that I'm amending. Because again, this budget has already been approved by you guys in September. So every amendment, you can clearly see how much it changed in one of those columns. So every single one of those, I'll give you an answer for it. So.
I would like to be able to take time to sit down
Yeah.
and do all that.
Yeah, we'll do a workshop.
Bo, you and I attended the DD6 public hearing. I don't know how familiar everyone is in here with what's being proposed with all of that. But Drainage District 6 is basically proposing looping in Sour Lake to help with drainage issues, I guess, in and around Beaumont. And they have an amount of dollars that they're looking to spend in Sour Lake to ultimately help the broader watershed. There are some issues that I think need to be addressed with that, but again, I don't know how many people in this town are aware of it, so I would just comment that maybe it would be worthwhile getting Amanda in a public forum to talk about what she thinks about it. Because I think that ultimately Sour Lake is going to have to decide for itself whether or not to participate. I don't really know how the funding is going to work, if it's federal dollars that are coming in. But if the federal dollars are there, I don't think that we would be required to do it if it seems like it's gonna be burdensome. So anyway, there was a lot of arm waving going on at this meeting, and it didn't seem like considerations about the existing infrastructure have been taken into account fully. So I don't know if how you felt about it, or if you think that we need to address some of the questions locally that were brought up, but I wanted to make that comment. To get the conversation started, I don't even know what the timeline is on all of this for approval, but anyway.
Mike, well,
I did.
you delete it?
Negative. I would never do that.
Did you delete it?
I may not reply to you, I'll call you, but.
Do you wanna, discuss that?
We're available. Yes, we do make ourselves available when officers tie up on something like that. Anything, high priority, first day of school, first week of school, you know, where they're parking on the road, we do make sure we have extra officers out, so we'll go out and just do extra patrols in that area. So we are available for that. The, full-time slot that I'd asked about was a swing position. Now, Officer Randall, before he took on code enforcement, was my swing officer, so he would have been coming in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and working until midnight.
Okay.
But since he's working the code enforcement and that would allow 2 bodies on the weekend in the evening time versus just 1, yes, we will all come out, but if I've got an extra body there, they can be in town while this other officer takes somebody to jail, to hospital in Beaumont for mental commitment or whatever. I'll still have some coverage here in town, but they both don't ride together, but they'll both, somebody will stay while they're in place.
Right, so you'd have somebody from 2 to midnight?
Right, well, it's a flexible schedule, so if my midnight guy calls in sick, I can have my swing shift guy cover that shift and just tell him to come in at the same time the midnight guy was, you know, would be coming in. Usually they're pretty good about giving us a day or so notice, hey, I'm sick with the flu, or baby kind of keeps down on the overtime. Otherwise, I've got to call the guy that's worked the night before and say, hey, you got to come in, so now I'm paying 12 hours overtime. Or this guy's giving 10 hours or 12 hours straight time. He works on a 40-hour, an 80-hour work pay period, where the other guys work on an 84. So he's got 4 hours of flexibility in there. If he works two days, 2 12-hour shifts, then he'll meet that 84. Anything after that's overtime. But I may have a workaround getting that. I didn't find out till,
Got a grant?
well, if I can find it,
I know you will.
find it, he will. Franco is looking to retire. So he told me today that he's looking at retiring in February, but wants to stay part-time. I have a part-time budget that I do not have it filled right now, or a slot. The person who filled the slot couldn't ever make themselves available. So I took them off for part-time, put them back on reserve status, so I'm kind of sitting here with an open spot for part-time. I do have a kid that wants to go to work. I did approach him and ask him if he was interested in part-time until Franco retired, or went back part-time. So he is interested. We started looking into his background today. If he pans out, I will bring him on part-time, get him trained up to where he needs to be. He came from the county. He knows the paperwork. We mirror what the county does on computers and paperwork pretty much. So it shouldn't be that long getting him back on the street. He worked at Beaumont before he went to Hardin County, so he's been around with us. He would take Franco's full-time slot. I'd bring Franco back 2 or 3 days a week just to work his part-time slot, which Franco could still cover if I need him. He said, look, if I need to work nights, I work nights. If you only work days, I can work days. But we just kind of need somebody there to cover training, vacation, and sick time. And that's what that spot is for, is kind of cover that.
And the reason I asked these questions, I don't understand your schedule.
No, it's,
I don't.
well, the officer schedule, the 12-hour shifts, you know, they work Monday, Tuesday, off Thursday. They'll work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The following week, they'll work, they'll be off Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday, Thursday, then they get a 3-day weekend. So this younger crowd, they want their weekends every now and then, so we have to kind of adjust it. And it works out for them. They get a 3-day weekend and they don't really call in. They just, they'll go to the school if we can afford it, or get a free school and let them off, but, they seem to like it, so. Better than the old, DuPont schedule that they're trying to do,
Yeah.
a while back, so. The, I kind of covered your 1 and 2 on that one.
Yes, thank you.
Take it on, there's some questions that we need to answer, like, do we need to create another line item in the budget for, the stipend training? Because the officer, even though he's a police officer, he's still gonna have to go through an animal control course, and in there, he has to keep up his CE hours, do like 30 every 3 years, so not too bad, but there's some ongoing training, so that's something we gotta look into. A vehicle. I can transport a prisoner, a dog, it depends on the dog. If it's not vicious, yeah, we can throw him in the back seat and get him to the kennel or to the vet.
Prefer not.
But I don't want to really put a vicious dog in the back of the car and eat up my seats or anything. So that was kind of one of the questions, different animals and be able to feed them, water them till they either move to the to the vet's office or till they're either picked up.
Do we do that currently?
What's that?
Do we do that currently?
We don't house them here, no. We usually, animal control will pick them up and try to take them over to Rusty's in Nome, or they sit in a little metal cage.
We definitely need a place.
We don't want it long term, we just want short term too, to get them over to the vet. And if it's on a Friday evening, Rusty's not open on the weekend, so we got to
And
do,
also give people time if they lost their job.
right.
They have a chance, they can get it.
They can contact the city or the officer on duty, then the animal control officer will be able to come out and meet them at a certain time and let them retrieve their animal.
Do we write citations for people who habitually lose their dogs?
There's supposed to be a leash law.
There is a leash law, so I want to say you probably can. I'll have to research that. I don't remember seeing it, but that doesn't mean I didn't know.
Now, there has been one before because when,
I know there's a leash law.
I mean, there was,
If a dog is
After
lost
the
in
dog
ordinance, and we
laws.
do like tickets for dogs that are.
after
After
sometimes they have the option because I had a dog that kept coming up to the cafe years ago. And the owner would not put a collar on it or leash it up and it kept coming. After, a month of it passing across the road, I went to the
I know
police
the judge-
department and I said, hey, look, either they need to give me the permission to take this dog.
And the judge can also do that for us
And they were
too.
gonna fine them or, they had to give the dog up and they gave the dog up instead of paying the fine.
My worry is somebody getting hurt or
Right.
people walking in the park and getting bit. And I know we're kind of a rural area, but another thing we gotta try to figure out.
Signs. Signs.
Signs?
I walk the park every day. And yes, there's a lot of dogs that are not on leash. People don't know it. They don't read ordinances. They just, they just look at me like I'm crazy when I say, we do have a leash.
Better let them
That baby on the leash.
know.
Maybe signs.
Actually, there's no comments on the crowd during this section.
Sorry, no comments during the crowd in that section.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And,
Coming on too.
Your fourth question, you asked about, could the annex be used as a new police station? So when we first purchased this building, before we purchased this building, we had access to it and asked for first right to purchase it. They got ready to sell it. So this was actually going to be the police station at one time. And then Zeke said, no, we want to build council's chambers and build a courtroom. So this is what you have now. They were actually going to move over to the city. And then that got nixed and we're still in the same place. Would this be a good police station? As it is right now, no. Because we're going to have to do a lot of renovations and probably an add-on to put an evidence room and some other stuff on. So I did talk to the city manager about it. He likes the idea of maybe moving the city hall over here, but and then allowing us to keep the current where we currently are. We could do a little renovation over there as far as the foyer, making it more secure so people just can't walk in and go straight to the back.
Right, I know that we had this conversation before.
Right.
I think you guys were, didn't they come to a,
Mr. came in with, get cheeks pretty good, so.
I don't want this to, we've been talking about this for a while, so we're trying to keep it on the front burner.
And then the fifth one, you asked about the contract with the constable, JP's office being this one. There is a contract, it's a year-to-year contract. After the first year of February 21 to January of 22. And then they have the option to renew for 9 additional one-year terms. And then it may be terminated after notifying, we'll give them a letter for 30 days. So there is a way out of it.
Thank you.
Any additional questions on the consent agenda?
Could it possibly where they just purchased the land or the property down there by the water tower? And they were talking about redoing that or making that something for the city guys or whatever. Is there enough room to build like a new building there of some sort and have like the city department move there with the water department, and then allow that building next door to be the police department?
Is there a way? Yes.
Is it possible?
But is it going to be extremely costly? Storage, they got quite a bit of storage that we want to put over there. So anything beyond that is going to be pretty substantial cost-wise.
I just knew there was one building at one time they were talking about salvaging, so I didn't know if it was something that could be done. I didn't know what it was exactly, but. So that's gonna be mostly for just like the city, water employees and stuff.
Correct.
Have we gone through the exercise of actually figuring out what it is that you would need in this building and in addition to this building to make this work versus that one, if the city were to move over here? Is this all still just like beginning conversations, or have we actually gotten any dollars written down on a piece of paper?
You talking about for City Hall or for police?
For police, yeah. 'Cause either way, we're talking about either fixing this place up or the one next door.
Well, here it's already, I think, when we were talking today, it's already has 4 offices, which would house the front reception, 2 offices on each side, and then this office back here. So he said it would be perfect for them, whereas I have to put in an evidence room. I sit down on computers and be able to write reports and do all that stuff. So I couldn't tell you what it would cost to refurbish it.
You would still need things done over there though, right? Like that's.
The only thing we would really need done over there is to fix the foyer. And kind of the idea would be where Jenny's office is at. Take out the wall, the doorway and the window right there that she talks to people through, and make that one big foyer. You put a glass door, basically where Debbie's door is, and then they couldn't go through it. And make a bigger window right there. That way whoever works that office could buzz them in and buzz them out, or an officer comes up and lets them in.
Okay.
PACE, the technology fund, our courtroom security fund, he has a pretty good amount of money in there that we can do some of that stuff with for the security of the building. So this comes off the revenue from some of the citations that Franco issues.
So I guess the next step is y'all determining which one of those is gonna be the best option.
Right, and we're gonna, this is something we kind of talked about today prior to the meeting. I look for maybe doing a workshop, get y'all involved, or coming up with let's come up with a committee or something with war games and see what we, get some cost and what's gonna be best for the city.
Thanks, Judy.
That answer all your questions?
I think so.
For items E and F, do we actually need to read those aloud prior to
consent agenda is really supposed to be for something. We've taken way too long for the consent agenda.
Sure.
So this is supposed to be just items that you go, move to approve the consent agenda, and it's done. So I think Bo's going to learn what he can put in there and what probably now needs to be taken out because, this consent agenda is supposed to happen like that. You do not have to read. It would just be approved. That's why you put them there so you can approve everything.
Okay.
Well, I just need all those in favor say aye.
Well,
We had a motion and.
the problem was he just made a motion to open the consent agenda. You need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
That's what I said. Do I need to make a motion to approve the
Yes.
Yes.
agenda?
Yes. It will.
Let the majority do it.
Yeah.
Okay, Jody made a motion, who seconded?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passed. May I have a reading of item number 1, please, City Manager?
Yes, council to consider approving the purchase of a 2025 Ford F-150. Short background here, in the September budget discussion, council directed the then city manager to remove the purchase of a new truck from the FY 2026 budget. In October, we were billed $1,132.62 for maintenance on one of the vehicles, and this prompted a look into the history of repairs and costs of the city. That came to a total over the last 2 years of almost $12,000 spent on maintenance and repairs on particularly one of our vehicles. Additionally, so the vehicle Jamie's driving is the one that is having the most issues. And then additionally, animal control is being absorbed back into PD, alleviating the need for that third truck. We have Jackie, who is retiring in December. And so we are going to have 2 streets employees no longer needing that third one. So we only need a total of 3 vehicles, including my own, one of which is having the most problems. So we got a trade-in value for 2 of those vehicles at $10,000. And also that remaining balance has been budgeted for in the FY26 budget, pending y'all's decision tonight.
We currently have 4 fleet vehicles. Is it?
Currently, for my staff, yes, we have 4.
Okay.
The older truck had the higher appraisal.
I failed to mention this. This sheet right here is an updated side-by-side of, if y'all see that. But yeah, the 14's appraisal was $6,500. The 16's appraisal was $3,500. That's the truck Jamie's driving that has all the issues. It's in pretty rough shape.
You'll have to bear with us if we are anything in papers over there.
So you can see the 2 options that I priced out. I went to Silsby and checked what they had. They had a ton of just plain Jane fleet vehicles ready to go. Their price was actually a little bit higher than what Sour Lake had to offer.
Sour Lake have them available?
They had this vehicle available, yes.
When you said this is what's in budgets, this is all.
This is in the FY26 amendments that we'll be
We got to
discussing.
make an amendment.
Can we take?
Well, it's already in
Sorry.
the one you approved. I was going to take it out until I saw all this, and I basically left it in there.
So they, almost $12,000 is for the same vehicle.
Mostly that 2016.
Do we have an idea at what point these vehicles become a quote unquote liability, where we're spending several $1,000s a year, or is this just popped up like last year?
So I just became aware of this when that most recent bill came across my desk, and it prompted a look into how much we've been spending on it.
That's something we're gonna keep an eye on moving forward.
Yes.
And the difference with Sour Lake and Silsbee was just what? Am I reading that right? About $500.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, my view is if you need the truck, you need the truck. I would say moving forward, we probably need to weigh which one is the better option of whether we drive these trucks until the wheels fall off, or if we take more of a police department stance and we're trading them in while they still got value and under warranty in the future.
Right.
One of the things that we talked about, and I seen some information the other day, so there's a lease program. I actually looked into the lease program several years ago. It was through Enterprise. And so my budget, my capital outlay, I think is $45,000. With that $45,000, I can get 3 vehicles. You're paying about $15 a year for a rigged out vehicle. The fleet vehicle that he would need, unlimited mileage, you just keep the maintenance and up on it. And then after 3 years, you can trade it in. And it gives you a dollar amount of what it's worth, like $1. It's all they're going to charge you, or they can charge you up to more depending on the program you get. But that's something we had talked about. Maybe something we can explore in the future. We didn't have 10 vehicles, and I was even counting the dump truck at that time. Vehicle where you keep them for 3 years, and then you can trade them in, and you're actually coming out ahead. Vider actually does it with all the police vehicles, so they're keeping them 3 years. They do any of the maintenance or anything on them, and they turn them back in. So.
But you have to have a 10 vehicle commitment?
It may have changed, I don't know, but that's something I got with him first. Well, he was telling me about this last week, and I went on vacation for a couple of days, so it's something we can really look at. That's something you're not losing to do.
Yeah, and I think we can look at all the options moving forward.
But I believe that deal did say we could get fleet vehicles like for the maintenance and water department, all included. Right.
I did run the numbers on that also. Generally speaking, you're coming out ahead when you drive a vehicle till the wheels fall off. But that's just a general rule of thumb.
So were this 14 and 16?
And I gave it to Zeke, and Zeke gave it to just just being handed me down. I believe, in fact, both of them are mine.
So if we kept that, I mean, the 14 for 11 years, it's still got a value, basically $6,500.
Mm-hmm.
And they practically drove it to the wheels fell off. That's a pretty good run.
They probably paid about $17,000 for it.
So do we need to pick the option, or are you just gonna?
Well, if y'all could do something general, or y'all could pick the option, whatever y'all want. I just, with a price tag this high, I definitely wanted to bring it before y'all to make the decision.
I would like for us to try to stay in, I mean, honestly, in our city to purchase if all possible, instead of going out to Silsbee or any other area. But especially for just $500, I would be down there driving it, whoever you talk to, and said, match this, or I want to drive it out at $36,000.
I'm looking at the
Sour Lake one's
Yeah.
the cheaper one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And
Sorry.
and the Sour one's a higher trim on the SLTs.
I learned from the Lumberton chief was get the extended warranty. It's about $2,000 more, but it covers it bumper to bumper up to 5 years versus just 36. Yeah. So
this does include the extended warranty?
well, that's something.
It's a 5-year on the drivetrain, but cosmetic is 3636. But again, if we drive to the Wells Fargo, I'm most concerned with the drivetrain.
It's gonna look like crap anyway.
That 16 is in rough shape.
Yeah.
I think if you, like Brian said, get you to a program wherever, so long
Yeah.
as you're getting your truck, somebody else, you're, you know.
Right.
Just keep on. Getting a rotation.
Sorry, you meant-
No, I was just gonna say, if we could make a motion for Bo to move forward with his,
You can totally do that.
I'd like to make a motion for city manager to move forward with his purchase.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Or do you have which one don't they usually have to say which one they want you to?
I prefer to keep it so like.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should, we don't need to amend it.
No, we don't need to.
Okay, it's fine. Okay.
You're gonna get it one of these days.
You say so.
City manager, can I have an item, a reading for item number 2?
Yes, council to consider voting for a candidate to join the Hardin County Appraisal District Board. Debbie, can you give any background on this?
No, I really can't. Because, I mean, usually, I thought Zeke or the city manager just took care of it. And now they're wanting it to go before you guys. I mean, are you not gonna vote for these people? I mean, no.
These two are
Do we know how many votes we
So on the, yeah,
Like,
Sour Lake has 53.
Oh, sorry, I
Can I
was getting
suggest how we always did it?
Yeah.
Split it. You give one more, you give one person an extra vote, split it
yeah,
sideways.
yeah, we have 53.
So you give 3 people an extra vote. You give each person at 10 votes. But that's,
What if these people are running for
To get griped at, yeah.
director of the appraisal
Yeah.
district?
yeah, there's a board.
There's a board
Oh, there's a board.
that you have to, you go before to fight your taxes.
Okay, so there's an open position on,
This is every year. Do they do this every year?
okay.
Or you can give, you know, if you decide that you want, since there's only one school district in your area, you
Give
can
them all
give all of
53.
it.
vote for the one in our school district.
That's probably what I think they've been doing in the past in my school. It's been done in the past. Whoever is our representative, that's who we vote for.
Yeah.
Why is this our responsibility?
Where's the deal of yours, Ryan? Better appraisal.
They just can do that.
We can't give
What's
on.
I don't have a sugar.
You
You
can't
can't
have
have all of one.
Can I make a motion?
No, all 53 votes.
We get 53 votes. You want all 53 voting for that one
Yes.
person? Make that motion.
I make a motion that all 53 votes go to the Hardin Jefferson representative.
Joe Person. Coach Person.
I didn't have that one, sorry.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like same. Passed. Congratulations, Joseph.
And both can sign.
I think everybody knows what's saying. You person go.
City manager.
Isn't that electoral college?
Got a reading of item number 3.
Yes, council to consider approving the appointment of Katie Thibodeau to the vacancy on the,
Yeah.
Thibodeau, I'm sorry. I apologize. Katie Thibodeau to the vacancy on the Planning and Zoning Board.
As Alderman Stutes has taken my glorious position, there now becomes a position available, the Planning and Zoning Board, and Ms. Thibodeau had originally applied and wanted to serve on this board, and so I kind of reviewed her credentials and asked actually asked her husband. If she could-
How archaic.
Well, I had direct communication to him. Not her. That way.
You got voluntold.
Yeah, but she said she'd be interested in serving and filling that role, that position, and so I would like to nominate her to fill that. She's been a long time member of this community, serves at HJ and in the transportation board. And so I'd like y'all to consider her.
I'll make a motion to appoint, Ms. Thibodeau.
See you Thursday.
Good luck.
See you Thursday.
Good luck.
And now I don't have to go Thursday, right?
Correct.
Sorry, I threw all the papers, but I lost.
I'll take us into the public hearing.
Take us.
Go for it.
All right.
Close the general session, open public hearing.
All right, so we're going to close the general session.
And then open the public
And
hearing.
tell me what time it is.
But we're not opening comment yet. We gotta
7:15.
Thank you.
give the context of the comments, right?
We're gonna open
Council.
this public hearing on this agenda.
Okay.
At the same time.
7:16.
What's next? Are you the right?
No, this is public hearing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Somebody give them a cookie.
I think 2 cookies are.
Did he get a script?
I mean, yeah, we're deviating now.
I told you.
Do I give context of the public hearing?
You can tell them what, I mean,
Okay.
the agenda.
Discussing structures that are considered unsafe and order owners to raise the said structures within 10 days. Property owner fails to comply within 10 days. Staff is requesting the city council to authorize to demolish the structures without further notification to the property owner or city council. Additionally, property owners of this structure request and is authorized by city council to enroll in the rewards program. All delinquent taxes shall be paid in full or payment plan, the effective date of the ordinance. Mr. Randall, do you have any comment on any of these?
Well, I guess this is where I read my dilapidated structure report.
Sure.
So the property in question is at 445 West Cartel. The property owner in the Hardin County tax rolls is listed as Phoenix Family Management. On September 17th, I conducted an inspection of the property with an administrative search warrant and found numerous violations of the property, which in my opinion, going off of the city ordinance, deemed it to be hazardous, unsafe, uninhabitable, public nuisance. Some of the things that I found was that the foundation's not level. There's large holes that have been cut in the floor inside of the house. It appeared that the foundation was being repaired at one point. It never was completed. There's a lot of missing siding, exposing the interior walls to weather. Windows that will not close and allow entry of water and pests. Rear portion of the home only had framed walls. Didn't have any kind of exterior structure around the framed walls. There's water pooling beneath the foundation. It's creating a health and structure hazard. The pooling water causes the foundation to deteriorate, grow mold. There's a large population of mosquitoes on the property due to it. Roof deterioration, including holes and rots. There's visible signs of mold inside of the structure on bare sheetrock due to the roof leaking. Outside of the structure on the property, there's piles of what appear to be construction. At the time when I did the inspection, the weeds on the property were well over 48 inches. There was smell of a decomposing animal coming from underneath of the house. There had been signs that people had been in the house, possibly doing unlawful things. It's what's considered an attractive nuisance considering its condition. It's a place people can go to and not be seen to do things. So due to the rear of the house being open in its condition and with numerous windows that could not be secured, after the weeds were abated, I boarded up the house. The property owner was sent a notice of violation on September 22nd. And I believe the packet y'all have has a violation for the property owner. September 22nd, a notice of this public hearing was sent to the property owner. Property owner never reached out to me. I found a phone number for the property owner, called, left a message, and never got a call back. I also found emails. I sent emails to the property owner notifying him of the violations in his public hearing. I put postings on the property of the violations into the public hearing. And
This property's been an issue for a while.
yes, sir.
I think, did we get any return receipt on that certified mail?
Yes, it was signed for. Now, a month after they were sent, even though it was signed for, the letters were sent back.
Because I know that I reached out to Zeke about this same property. Because we had complaints from citizens that, you know, there's pests and all that type of stuff coming from that property. And I know we tried to send a certified letter to them as well, right? I don't think we got anything back on it. So, you know, but I think Zeke called somebody and they went over there and mowed the front yard. And that's all they did.
Fix the fence maybe or something. They
They didn't do much, yeah. So,
I mean, the fact that it was signed for, is that good enough, Alex?
If you got the letter back, it would, I would question it if it were me. If I sent something, I got the same letter back with the green, sides on it, like it didn't get delivered.
No, it was open. You can see the letter's been opened, and we got the receipt where it was signed for.
Okay, then can you read who signed it?
I can read the first letter.
Okay.
so.
How did we get the letters back? That's what I'm now curious.
Just mailed
From
it
the
back.
post office.
We mailed them a certified and we mailed it regular. We mailed it both.
Correct.
Should.
So did we get the green one back or did we get the regular one back?
So we got them all back on the same day.
We got the card back first, didn't we?
Correct. We got the card back, and then,
I just want to say, it seems unusual that you would get
Oh, I agree
a
with that.
certified letter back.
so.
At our office, our front desk signs for whatever it needs to be signed for, and then somebody else goes through the mail, so I can see that actually happening, so.
But not to a person.
So this is a copy. September 25th.
And we're sure that's the correct owner now.
It's the owner according to Hardin County Tax Rules. I haven't found any information otherwise to say it's not.
I don't know how most people do it. It would seem to me, I know that the tax rolls can be used for some purposes. I don't know tax rolls could be used when you're trying to destroy a piece of property. So, I don't know if you should do at least a title, at least find the last deed, and that's on Hardin County too. Should be. But, I haven't really looked at this issue. So, I don't know if it's.
So we need
Oh, have you done this in Beaumont? I mean, is the tax roll sufficient?
You know, I didn't physically, I wasn't the one mailing the letter, so I can't answer that.
That's what I would question, is the tax. So I'm not criticizing anything that was done. I just, you're about to tear down someone's property.
You want to be for sure.
Yeah.
The process for this happened way faster than just trying to get a zoning change. So I just feel like we needed to put a little bit more time before we tear something down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, guys, I drive by the Sour Lake Medical Center that we've been trying to tear down for 5 years. So, and I think someone has said they were gonna tear it down for us. I mean, we have someone that we're in contact with that one. I would just be real careful when you're destroying property. So, but it's up to you guys. You have a letter, but I have not looked at this.
Well, do you think we should, in your legal opinion, do you think we should get a copy of the deed?
Yes.
Do you need to write a letter?
I do not. This is normally done as he's done it, but I question the mail service now. And I question when we get certified letters back. It's one thing if you have an agent signing for it, but if we don't know that this is the owner, and this is maybe just someone who, like I said, you know, has a lien on it and is paying the taxes, you know, because like my mortgage company pays my taxes, so they get my, you know.
Well, are they paying taxes?
I
I
have
thought
a
it said something about,
But yeah, I thought it said delinquent taxes.
When's the last time they paid taxes?
This is the current tax rate.
Do we know when that? Okay. I'll see. Let me.
This
I'm
is
like-
what Hardin County did last week.
This looks like their current tax statement for the year 2024, so this doesn't say whether or not they got, but if, just talking out loud.
If they were to go back and confirm that the property was the same owner on the deed as it is the tax roll, could we
Probably.
create the motion? If it was the same, then would you feel confident we can proceed forward?
More confident, yes, sir.
Well, I was
believe
thinking.
it has delinquent taxes.
I mean, if, for instance, they haven't paid taxes this year, but they've paid in prior years, kind of indicates that someone's taking care of it. Or someone is got an interest in it.
Definitely don't want to be sued if that was their favorite great aunt's house.
Yeah.
And, we didn't do it.
I mean, we want to take, I think we need to take, I mean, we have places like that. My mom has one next door and I want it torn down. But as much as I want it torn down, it's been there for 7 years and I keep mowing the grass. So, I think you need to just be careful when you're taking property.
I feel like we can handle, 30 extra days to let them do a little bit more due diligence and do it in the next council meeting. It's been there.
do our legal response.
I feel like for this particular instance, I think we just need to kind of true up some stuff and then, unless we can make a motion.
You know, and again, I'll be honest, what I would do is I would call a city that, like Beaumont, and say, hey, what's your system?
This is the first time we've done this, so,
And maybe send out another certified letter with the final and see if.
I don't mind that you need to send out a
So actually Lumberton's in the middle of doing this right now in their city council meetings. Their biggest problem that they've ran into with it currently is if there's taxes on the property, technically they're the first ones to foreclose on it. So they're having to jump through that right now with a property that's got a decrepit mobile home on it. The mobile home's owned by one person, landowner owns, different landowner, and neither one of them have communicated with the council at all. And they're not sure whether they can tear it down either because it changes the value of the property to the tax roll. So they're in the middle of doing it right now. They're on their third round of discussing it 30 days at a time.
it's up to y'all, but, once we get that process down.
It's down the street for me and it's been there for 15 years. I have lived down the street from it and excuse me, nobody owns the damn property.
I think the tax rolls kind of indicate otherwise. We
But the
just-
tax roll, I know, that they say it, but it's, never mind. I give up.
We want it.
15 years. Nobody has lived in that house.
I'm saying if it has like back taxes for
I think
certain years
that's-
or past,
yeah.
then that's a good chance that nobody's taking care of it or caring about it.
In Lumberton, the tax has been back 10 years, take care of the house.
For the property.
So so they're just sitting back and going, well, it's up to you if you want to pay for it or not. So that's where the council is in Lumberton with theirs, is they're going to have to foot the bill to tear it down. And so they're trying to decide whether they can ever get that money back.
This is an issue.
So what happens if you find out it has back taxes, you decide to tear it down, then what happens to the property?
So like with the one in Lumberton, if they spend the money to tear it down, they come second on the lien. The county still has the first lien, which now money into it.
Because your
to
property
get it, yeah.
taxes are first.
Yeah, so property tax comes first, and then the city would be able to put a lien for the destruction.
One of the things I'm going to do after this, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go with Officer Randall to Beaumont and meet with our demolition coordinator, or their demolition coordinator there, and we'll get to the bottom of all this and give you all clarity on
So I just asked for like us to have a more, this is what our process is, this is our checklist, this is what we did, just to have a due diligent form moving forward. So if we can do that and then close all these questions up, just bump it to the next meeting if we can.
Because you really need to know how far behind the taxes are. If it's current, then you can jump right in there with your lien before the taxes get harder and be able to do something with it.
I would challenge everyone on council to drive by that house.
Oh, I did today.
So,
I did today.
what do you think?
Oh, I mean, it looks better than it did 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was that somebody went out there and mowed, but.
No, they didn't mow it.
Yeah.
It looks, yes,
Front
it
yard,
looks
they mow
better
back.
loaded.
The city guys end up.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that it needs to come down. I just want to make sure we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed.
The city does currently have a lien on the property for the abatement of the weeds
Correct.
and the securing of the structure.
Correct. But I think those would even be inferior to tax liens.
Yeah.
The city just needs to know that.
On Hardin County's website, it looks like the property was sold in 2023. There's information about the deed transfer that happened in March of 2023, so I have a deed number
That's about
on
right.
there. So.
That's about right, because there was some people out there, they
So
brought
actually
stuff
what
and
did
started
they
working
do?
on it for about a week, and then they stopped and never came back. I think they bit off more than they could chew.
Anyway, let's just.
Yeah.
They probably just don't want to pay to have it 4 days.
They went to flip it and it got too much.
Too much. But we are trying to do beautification of Sour Lake and make it a nicer, cleaner place to live, so we don't need to sit on it all day. or all
Safe.
Correct.
I know
I just want
Lumberton
30 days.
have to send
All
over
of the next meeting.
Trying
Okay.
to take
Okay.
ownership of it, get sign on that. So that was one attempt they made.
Okay.
So we have to draw out of public.
Correct.
Now you need to close the public hearing.
We're taking us out of public hearing. It is 7:35. Now going to vote on.
No, you take no action.
So many things.
Two handouts.
We need better titles. Can we just, so I know what all these are?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just table which ones need to be.
Well, in my packet, they're numbered, but then on the ones on the desk, they are no longer, I don't have my exhibit A's and numbers.
Blame Councilman Cook.
You're now going to, go into executive.
That's what my friend was thinking earlier.
7:36.
Yeah, something.
And I
But
think
he needs to say we're going to adjourn into executive
We are
session.
adjourning into executive session. Sugar with shot.
There's,
7:36.
we can discuss and tell them what for.
Yeah, but
Personnel matter per government codes by 51 dash or period.
For executive session, I would ask, and we do have one agenda item after executive session.